I figured I'm going to learn you guys something today. Time for some knowledge. I'm going to show you guys how to get rid of that stinky foot. You know, I don't know about you, but if you're like me, every now and again, man, I take off my shoes and whew, it just be kicking, right? Everybody, at least if it's not happening to you, you know somebody that this is happening to. So by all means, share this video with them because I'm going to give you a lot of good tips on how to just get rid of all that stink that's going on down below. Well, one, we got to tackle the shoe issue, and then two, we got to tackle the foot issue itself. Let's first talk about the shoes. My shoe. Right now it's stinking, oh God. It's stinking a lot right now, so we're going to fix this issue. I tend to sweat a little bit, you know, on my feet, so I got to do this every now and again to cure this up. Now, a lot of times when people get that stinky foot, they go and try to throw baby powder in there or spray some cologne in there or, you know, all these different types of things. But they're not necessarily killing the bacteria. You want to get all that just out of there, you know. So the best way that I found, it's going to sound strange, but the best way I found is throwing your shoes in the freezer. The freezer will freeze all the bacteria and just kill it dead. What you'll typically want to do is wrap your shoe up in like a large Glad bag or maybe even a garbage bag or something like that. But if you want to, you know, really tick off the wife, just go ahead and put your shoes right there on top of the frozen pizza and let that sit overnight. Now that we got the shoe problem tackled, let's move on to the feet. I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to assume that all of you shower in the morning. For those of us that are inflicted with this stinky kind of feet, make sure that you spend a little extra time washing your feet off with a good antibacterial soap, okay? After that, there's a couple different choices that you can work with to try to get rid of all the odor. Alright, one is simply just using baby powder. Now, before I mentioned, it's, you know, some people put it in their shoes, but that's just masking the odor. The purpose while you're rubbing this on your feet is to keep your feet nice and dry throughout the day. The less your foot sweats, the less of the chance that your feet are going to start stinking, okay? Also, another thing that you can do is if the baby powder's not working, put some antiperspirant on your feet. I mean, the idea of antiperspirant is to get you to perspire less. And, you know, it kind of works. Now, if you're like me, I've tried both of those methods and those don't work. There is a third solution that you can do. Actually, yet a fourth solution you can do. The third solution is actually going to a dermatologist, and which is what I did, and I got something that's called Hypercare. Or there's another name for it called Drysol. It's just this really crazy antiperspirant that you put on your feet, and it also works for armpits and even the head, any part of your body that really sweats, and it kind of dries all that stuff up so you'll tend to sweat less. But if this doesn't even work, the final step would be talking to your dermatologist again about Botox injections. Believe it or not, Botox can reduce sweating, you know, in your feet or your armpits. It's kind of crazy. So far so good. This is working for me. So remember, one, tackle the odor by knocking out the odor on the shoes by throwing them in the freezer. Two, making sure the foot's nice and dry throughout the day. And you probably, after that, shouldn't be having stinky feet anymore. It can save you from a lot of embarrassing situations.